So, Happy Gilmore 2 was directed by Kyle Newacek and once again features Adam Sandler once again returning as the hockey player turned golf player, Happy Gilmore. This time around, his daughter wants to go to a prestigious school and he needs to make up the money for it, so he returns to the game that made him famous to begin with, golf. So, this was a movie that I was kind of looking forward to, but kind of nervous. I have a love hate relationship with Adam Sandler in general. I loved him as a kid, kind of disliked him as I got a little older, but now that I'm kind of more mature, I can at least appreciate some of the movies that he's done. Like, I obviously love Happy Gilmore. I think that movie's hilarious to me. I still quote it frequently. I still think it's pretty funny. And yes, he still has some funny movies every once in a while. I also enjoy Big Daddy, but there's also some other movies of his that around that time that I don't care for. I don't like Billy Madison. I don't like The Waterboy, but I do at least enjoy some of his other work. And I do actually kind of respect him in some weird way. Again, not my favorite, but at least I don't get mad at him whenever I see a movie. And with Happy Gilmore 2, I was still kind of curious to see what this movie is going to be like, because, like, how are they going to do a lot of the stuff from the first movie? What are they going to do in this new movie? And having now seen the movie, I can say, man, what a letdown. I was in such a bad mood while watching this movie, and it really did not work for me. Is there anything in this movie that works? As far as some of the performances go, Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin, still on his A game. I thought he was fantastic in this movie. Maybe not as good as he was in the first movie, but he's still enjoying the role as much as he can. He's chewing the scenery. He has some good lines here and there. He's still the best part about this movie. Bad Bunny also surprised me. I thought he was just going to be like this cameo at one point, but no, he actually has a role in the movie, and he actually goes toe to toe with a lot of actual comedians. And I thought he was pretty good in this movie. And then there were some funny jokes here and there. There were kind of moments where it's like, okay, that's funny. I don't think I'm going to quote this movie as much as I will for the first movie, but, you know, there are some moments. But this movie, this movie I knew I was hating within the first 10 minutes. That is not good, because they make a few choices in the first 10 minutes that I'm like, that kind of made my mouth drop. And I'm like, why would you do some of these things? Because they negate the point of the first movie. And I'm just watching this movie now and I'm like, so why? Why are we doing this now? And I just felt like it was so mean spirited because, like, you know, we went through so much with the first movie, and this movie in the first 10 minutes just basically said, yeah, screw it. Let's just cancel out what happened in the first movie. Okay. Wow. And not to mention, this movie is 2 hours. So 10 minutes into a movie already, and I'm already disliking it. That has to be a record. That really is bad. And I think the main issue is that I don't want to see a sad Happy Gilmore. This is not supposed to be, you know, a movie like Punch Drunk Love or Rain Over Me or Uncut Gems, a serious Adam Sandler movie. This is a movie that it's like, this is a silly movie. The first Happy Gilmore is silly and it's funny. And I just don't want to see him sad and alcoholic. Like, one of the main jokes in this movie is that look at all the places where Happy has alcohol stored and he kind of drinks from them. That is just not funny. And I just found it kind of insulting at times. Honestly, even borderline offensive. And I look back at some of the old reviews for the original Happy Gilmore. They said it was like very mean spirited and such. But honestly, I kind of got that with this movie. There are a lot of jokes in this movie that I'm like, that kind of made my mouth drop. I'm like, I cannot believe they're actually going there with some of these jokes. Like, there's this one joke involving some new golfers that Happy Gilmore is playing a game with, and it just ends so horrifically that I'm like, who thought that was a good idea? Who, who on set thought that was a good idea? I just didn't think it was that funny. I just thought it was just kind of, again, it just put me in a bad mood. And that's something I don't want to see. Like, Happy Gilmore, like, you know, he gets angry a lot, but you understand why he gets angry. He gets angry at the people who are trying to take his grandma's house. That's understandable. But in this movie, and you definitely understand why he's sad in this movie, but that's just not his character. And I just felt it was such just a departure. Like, this is not the movie that Adam Sandler needs to be serious in. Like, it just didn't work. It really did not work. And also, the cameos in this movie. Man, the cameos. And a lot of times they pause the movie just for a cameo. Like, Bad Bunny, he has a cousin played by Marcelo Hernandez from SNL. They don't do anything with that cameo. There's Travis Kelce in a cameo as a character. Um, yeah, he's in the movie for some reason. There's three actors who are golfers. I mentioned the scene earlier, but Eric Andre is one of the golfers. Margaret Qualley is one of the golfers, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense like why they're in this movie. It's like, okay, if they're fans of the first movie, I would understand that as like, oh, I want to be a part of the second movie. And then having watched the second movie, I'm like, this is such a departure from the first movie, so it just feels bad. And it just felt like they just were more distracting than actually funny. Like the Bob Barker cameo in the first movie was at least funny and actually was part of the story. Whereas I feel like a lot of these cameos, they just weren't. And they were just pointless to me. There is one cameo by Eminem that actually was really funny. And that's probably the best cameo in the entire movie. Meanwhile, I get that a lot of these legacy sequels rely on the original movie a lot. This movie relies on the original movie's clips. There are a lot of moments in this movie where they just cut back to the original movie as like a memory, and it's just baffling. And I'm just surprised that they would just do some of these things. And I'm just reminded at times, hey, the original Happy Gilmore was funnier than this. That's what I get from it. Not, hey, remember this scene from this movie? I'm like, yeah, I remember it. I remember this being funny. This movie is not that funny. And a lot of the new characters, I just did not care for. The new villain in this movie, he has no personality or charisma or really anything of interest. The new Chubbs in this movie, which understandably they had to rewrite it because Carl Weathers unfortunately passed away before they could start shooting this movie. The new Chubbs character is also just mean-spirited. I'm just like... It reminded me of those parody movies that came out in like the 2000s. His character reminded me of the characters from the 2000s, where it's like... where it was a parody, but their parody was, hey, I'm this person. And they don't do anything with it other than say, I'm this person. His character is basically kind of just saying, I'm the new Chubbs. And he does not have any chemistry with Adam Sandler. He has no real good lines. I just felt like this movie was just kind of a waste of time, if I'm being honest. It's not even that funny, if I'm being honest. I don't remember laughing that much. Again, those first 10 minutes, I kind of just felt like in a bad mood. And I felt like those first 10 minutes kind of put me in a sour mood for the rest of the 2-hour runtime. Why is Happy Gilmore 2 2 hours long? This movie should just be an hour and a half. And I also thought of this while watching this movie too. It kind of reminded me a lot of Zoolander 2. Like that was another movie that a lot of people really wanted a sequel to. And so Ben Stiller was like, hey, yeah, finally I'll make Zoolander 2. And then he does all these things that kind of negated the first new Zoolander movie. And this movie kind of does the same thing. And it's kind of baffling that having seen all these other comedy sequels come out, that they would make choices that are just the same things that they got in trouble for. And it's kind of baffling as well because Ben Stiller is also in this movie again, kind of like he was in the first movie. Also, his character, yeah, it's just not nearly as funny as it was the first time. Like, okay, it's not... the situation was funny, like how they handled it, like the lines are funny, but this one is just like... Again, I don't want to see a sad Happy Gilmore. Adam Sandler never goes full Sandman in this movie. I don't understand it. Also, the new character that he tries to, do all this stuff for, her character is just very boring to me. I didn't care for her. Like, okay, she's played by Adam Sandler's daughter, so that's kind of why she's in this movie, but I felt like her character didn't really have much to do. I kind of just forgot halfway through. It's like, oh, she's the reason why he's doing all the stuff that he's doing in this movie. But she's not very interesting. She has no personality. At least I understand throughout the entire movie, hey, Happy's doing this to save his grandma's house. But this movie, it's like, oh, right, she's the reason why he's doing all this. Okay. All right, then. And again, I just didn't laugh a whole lot during this movie. That is kind of like the number one rule with a comedy. No matter how dumb the jokes are, if you make me laugh, I will enjoy it. Happy Gilmore, okay, not Oscar bait by any means, but I still laughed during that movie. This movie, I didn't laugh a whole lot. Again, some of the performances were pretty good, and those were the ones that made me laugh, particularly Christopher McDonald and Bad Bunny. But other than them, no one else in this movie really works. Also, Eminem's pretty funny. But other than them, no one really gives a good performance, or at least has a fun time. It just felt like a funeral, like an unnecessary funeral, and it just really didn't work. And again, I think your enjoyment of this movie is going to be based on how you handle those first 10 minutes. Because if you don't like those first 10 minutes, then I think you're going to really hate this movie. This movie just kind of put me in a bad mood, and I'm just so done with Happy Gilmore 2. So Happy Gilmore 2, even though there are a couple funny jokes, and even though there are a couple good performances, I did not care for the handling of Happy Gilmore's character. I didn't care for any of the new characters. The cameos are just obnoxious, and they kind of just slow down the movie considerably. They cut back to the original movie so much that it made me realize I should be watching the original movie instead of this movie. The jokes don't really work. It just felt sad at times. And again, those first 10 minutes, you'll know if you like this movie or not based on those first 10 minutes. Because that is the make or break moment of this movie. So for me, I was saying maybe you could watch this movie and be okay with it. But I kind of realized I'm never going to watch Happy Gilmore 2 again. And honestly, I don't even know if I can even watch Happy Gilmore 1 again because of all the things they do in this movie. Because again, this one kind of just makes the first movie irrelevant. I'll give Happy Gilmore 2, I'm going to go very low on this one. I'm going to give it 1 out of 4 stars. Skip it. This is not an angry skip it. It's more of a sad skip it. Because, like, you should have known better to not be better. It's like you should have been dumb like the first movie. Instead, you tried to be a little bit more serious and it just didn't work. How do you mess up something like that so bad? So, Happy Gilmore 2. Did you see it? And also, what is your favorite comedy sequel? If there are any good ones, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat. Stay safe.